Hey guys, this is Hell Hades. This is a Raid Shadow Legends video. Guys, we've got a bit of special news. I don't know how people are going to feel about it, but we've got a guaranteed legendary event coming, I think, tomorrow. There's a little bit of cryptic kind of messages around this, but it's definitely coming. We've got the Summon Rush, which is launching tomorrow. It's got a purpley feel to the portal, right? And then suddenly Raid drop this crack the code tweet just literally like half an hour ago. So, you know, I employed the best code crackers in the world to come and help me out with this. So the first thing we see here is, can you crack the code? We're preparing something special for you tomorrow, a guaranteed summon event. We encrypted the name of the guaranteed champion in the picture on this publication. Can you crack it? So at first you're like, okay, Sacred Shards. We know it's going to be a non-void. We then look down at the code and it's like, okay, it feels like there's a lot to do with poison. I'm not sure what the flags are. First thing I'm doing is like, is this some sort of message? Do the poisons, you know, always have the same letter? None of that could work, right? So, as I say, I employed some of the highest paid code crackers in the world, and they have come up with this. Morse code. We've gone back to Morse code, and it looks like these are different letters in Morse code, which actually form the word Shador. Now, one of the things which is kind of keeping this even more cryptic is, why didn't you put a void shard there, Raid? So that we knew it was a void champion. They're throwing us off the target, but it looks like from tomorrow, there's going to be a guaranteed summoning event with Shador. Now, before we get into Shador, let's just have a look at previous guaranteed events, because some of these have been a little bit all over the place, inflated in places. Let's have a look at when we've had guaranteed legendaries from void shards. This is all in order here. Hellhades.com, we always keep the kind of guaranteed stuff up to date. But the last guaranteed void legendary was Fortus. Who actually went for Fortus thinking they've got to change, they've got to fix his A3. Still not been fixed yet. When they do, he might be awesome. 80 void shards for Fortus, 80 for Turvold before that. We had, who else have we got? 90 for Riho before that. So it looks like 80 or 90. They're the only ones we've had. 80 or 90 for Shador. Now, you're probably like, who uses him? He is kind of good. He's kind of good, but he's not that meta. The only place where I use him, and actually a second one would make my team massively more consistent, that's Sand Devil. So I actually run a stage 20. This is my stage 17, but I do run a stage 20 auto farm, which is reasonably quick. But Shador is one of the kind of main champs in the kind of mix for this. Shador really is all about laying poisons and locking out the enemy team. And he can do that anywhere in the game. The reason why he works well here is because he actually reactivates sleeps like this. You see that? So we've kind of said, take another nap, my friend. And obviously all the time he's a napping, he's not much of a problem, not much of a threat. You do have to land the nap though. And that's why 2 Shadors is actually good here, because it's only an 80% chance for that nap to go back on. And obviously you want it to be 100%. So generally, if some people are going with this kind of speed farm higher level team, then double Shador is the way to do it, so that you don't get the kind of guarantee, to get a more guaranteed kind of nap time. That said, all of that said, you know, I keep this team because I built it out and it works well and it's fine for me. But there are a lot of teams now which only use perhaps 2-man squads and stuff, which are just easier to build, need less legendaries and all that type of stuff. So I guess if you've already got one of those going and it's running at a similar speed to what, you know, the teams that you can build out there are doing, then there's probably not a huge amount of call to actually, you know, build this out at all. And, you know, I could make this run on 25 if I wanted to, but I'm one of these dudes. It was already running on 20. I didn't really want to mess around with it anymore. I just kept it going. But yeah, you can see this run's going to be a consistent one, and it's going to be around a 1 minute 40 odd run. And this is really where I think he's kind of his best spot in the game. But it's a shame that there's ways to kind of cheese this boss outside of doing this stuff. It's a shame. Plus, they've overtuned it, so maybe it's not a shame. I don't know. But anyway, this is the type of team that I run. If we check out his kits, you know, this is a tough one because a lot of people. Sorry, I'm back on the main. I'm not on the main a lot. There's a lot of there's a lot of red dots going on right now. Shador. So he's got a sleep on his A1, 50%, books up to 75, not 80, sorry, 75% chance to sleep. He's got an AoE, placing poisons and decreased defense. That's a 100% chance to land. He's got a single target hit. This one's pretty decent, actually. So attacks an enemy, then another one at random. If they're under poison, ignore shield block damage and unkillable. So he should take most people out with this. Gets an extra turn if he kills someone. Yeah, also resets Venom Storm by 2. Resets it completely if he kills 2. He doesn't quite hit hard enough for this to be like the ultimate skill, but he hits decently hard. Yeah, what he's mainly good for is honestly either wave control. So this throwing out the poisons here, he's then got this passive, instantly attacks enemies with the default skill, which has a chance to sleep when poisons go off. Yeah, so actually the poison pops, he goes in there, sleeps them, and then they don't actually take a turn, but they still take the poison damage. So he's a really great control legendary, but because he doesn't quite do enough damage, and there's just people that do things a lot quicker than he does, I don't feel like he gets a lot of playtime. If you're on a mid-game account, mid to end game, honestly, he could be a god almost everywhere in the game. But for like true end game stuff, he doesn't really get a look in, maybe other than the Sand Devil. So let me know what you think, guys. How many Void Shards do you think he would be worth to you? Comment down below. Is he someone you'd be interested in for a guaranteed? Comment down below. But yeah, I've been Hell Hades. I'll see you later.